vaccination levels, the number of people, the population that's vaccinated by a certain point. And that's what the issue is. Because unlike the little kids, for some reason they figure the really little kids aren't as don't do as much community spread. It's more dangerous for their teachers.
Mickey,
They
I'm good,
spread.
Mickey. I'm gonna.
Okay.
We're at time.
Okay.
Um, it's fascinating. If you want to put it in chat, obviously you're an expert about this, but I want to keep us on schedule. So, welcome everyone. I am I'm playing the role of Rabbi Kleinbaum today, um, without the dogs. So, what we're going to be doing today basically is we're going to be going into Chevruta to study Psalm 17 in our groups. So, if you don't have it already, please get a copy of the JPS Safaria translation. We found that it's really most helpful if we're all using the same translation. It's hard if we're not. This is the same translation. If you have the JPS Tanakh, it's in there. It can be, I sent it as a PDF. It's available online. So if you'd get that out. We have Cantor Nimi, who will be singing us in this morning. Thank you, Sarah, for showing us that volume. We have Cantor Nimi, who will be singing us in this morning. Cantor Nimi, are you here and ready to go?
I am here.
Okay, let me open your text. I have
Thank
it
you so
open.
much. So it's always interesting for me when I get to offer music on the first day of the song because we haven't gotten into the text yet. So my hope is that something that I offer will maybe resonate as we get into the text. We've talked a lot about the idea of the Gezerah Shava, the phrase that can the analogous phrase that can connect one piece of text to another. When I was reading through Psalm 17 on my own, I was overwhelmingly struck by the similarity in language between this and a prayer from Slichot called B'motza'ei Menucha. Particularly, you will encounter as we get into the psalm the idea of inclining one's ear and listening. Lots of references to words for prayer and praise. And also inspired by our conversation yesterday, the Dalet of Pardes, Lidrosh, to seek, is used abundantly in the second verse of this liturgical poem. So this is a setting that I came across when I did a practicum for Slichot during my cantorial studies, as sung at the Great Synagogue in Jerusalem. I will say that I'm going to start where the choir comes in because nobody has notated what improvisation Naftali Hershtik does for the opening of this piyut. So I'm going to pick it up where the choir comes in. Incidentally, if you are ever curious, you can find there's lots of recordings of Slichot services on YouTube because they are not uh, work is permitted. It's after Shabbat, so recording is permitted, and so you actually will find a lot of recordings of even Orthodox Slichot services on YouTube, and the music is gorgeous.
Cantor, if you can just remind us for a second when Slichot appears in the Jewish liturgical calendar.
Sure. So it depends on which community you're in. For some Sephardi and Mizrahi communities, and I use those terms very broadly, there's a wide range of practice. Slichot is recited throughout the entire month of Elul. In Ashkenazi ritual, there's multiple days as well, but the when we talk about Slichot referring to one particular day in the Ashkenazi rite, we're talking about usually the Saturday evening before Rosh Hashanah. And it introduces a lot of the themes and liturgy that will recur over the entirety of not just the days of awe, but also the entire holiday season.
Okay, great. You can see the text.
Mm. במוצאי מנוחה כי דמנוחה תחילה הט אוזנך ממרום יושב תהילה אוזנך ממרום, הט אוזנך ממרום, הט אוזנך, הט אוזנך ממרום, יושב תהילה, יושב תהילה, לשמוע אל הרינה, אל הרינה ואל התפילה, לשמוע אל הרינה, אל הרינה ואל התפילה. דרוש נא דורשך בדורשם פניך, דרוש נא דורשך בדורשם פניך, הידרש למו משמי מעונך ולשבת חינונם, אל תלם אוזניך, לשמוע אל הרינה, אל הרינה ואל התפילה, לשמוע אל הרינה, אל הרינה ואל התפילה.
Wow, that's so beautiful, Cantor. Thank you so much. So much. A few little housekeeping things before we start today. One is tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, and as part of Rosh Chodesh for the regular weekday service, we recite the Psalms of Hallel. And if you've never heard the Psalms of Hallel recited in a morning service, a number of us from CBST are participants in the Sutton Place morning minyan. I see Leslie smiling. Leslie did our Torah reading this morning. We meet at 8, and on Rosh Chodesh, it runs from 8 until around 8:40. We say Hallel, and we have the special Psalm for Rosh Chodesh and the Torah reading for Rosh Chodesh and a Musaf service. And if you're interested in joining us, just email me before tomorrow morning, and I will send you that information. I also know that we have 2 people in our community who are going in for surgery today. A member of the Psalms class who is going in for a joint replacement operation, and Ze'evi Berman, who is one of our visiting scholars for trans issues, is going in for their top surgery. They put it on Facebook. I'm not sharing anything that is not well known. So I was thinking that we might keep both of them in our mind by reciting Psalm 30. And if I could possibly ask Yael to unmute herself to read Psalm 30 for us in the Hebrew, and I will put the text up. Yael, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right, so we are keeping in our minds a member of this class who's in for joint replacement surgery, and we are keeping in our minds Evie Berman. All right, let me do the other setup here. Hold on, I like this one better. All right, it's all yours.
מזמור שיר חנוכת הבית לדוד. ארוממך אדוני כי דילתני, ולא שימחת אויבי לי. אדוני אלוהי, שיבעתי אליך ותרפאני. אדוני העלית מן שאול נפשי, חייתני מיורדי בור. זמרו לאדוני חסידיו, והודו לזכר קודשו. כי רגע באפו חיים מרצונו, בערב ילין בכי ולבוקר רינה. ואני אמרתי בשלוי, בל אמות לעולם. אדוני ברצונך העמדת להררי עוז, הסתרת פניך הייתי נבהל. אליך אדוני אקרא, ואל אדוני אתחנן. מה בצע בדמי ברידתי אל שחת, היודך עפר היגיד עמיתך. שמע אדוני וחונני, אדוני היה עוזר לי. הפכת מספדי למחול, לי פיתחת שקי, ותעזרני שמחה. למען יזמרך כבוד ולא ידום, אדוני אלוהי לעולם עודך.
Thank you so much. We keep them in our minds. All right, in a minute, we'll be breaking up for our small groups. Just to remind, it's best just to stick at this point to the basic Hebrew and English text. Do not bring in the other texts yet. Read through it together in Hebrew and in English. You're looking for, you've done this before, words in the Hebrew that are repeated, words in the Hebrew you don't understand, words in the Hebrew that seem particularly significant, themes that come through, questions that you would like discussed when we return to this on Tuesday. Tasha, why don't we do this for 25 minutes and then we can come back and briefly review some of the questions that come up and made some notes. So when the rabbi is back on and we're together on Tuesday, we can remember what it is we wanted to discuss. All right, so I will be in one of the small groups. Tasha, if you'd like to break us up into our groups of 3 or so, it's time to go. Two things at once. Number one is to invite everybody to go into chat, which I can easily save and share with the rabbi, and write down a few observations from your group. What did your group notice? What did your group find interesting? What would your group like to be discussed when we come back? And I'm also going to ask for hands for people who would like to share with us in person for just a few minutes some of the observations that they made. So everyone's free to go into chat right now and say, just here's what I observed, here's what I noticed, here's a question I have, here's what I'd like to discuss. And then I will start with Lori Krotman. Unmute yourself and tell us briefly what your group came up with.
Now?
Yes, right now.
Okay, so we were all kind of annoyed with the psalm. You know, we felt that you know, love is supposed to be unconditional, but it's so conditional here. And we said, if God says I am what I am, why can't we say that? You know, why can't we just be who we are? And also, why do we have to justify everything we do? We thought of the printers, you know, you got to the left, to the right, and you're justified. So,
hey, all right. Thank you. Who else would like to share a few observations from their room? I will share an observation that this one begins with tefillah, and it seemed to be, which is the common word for prayer, and it seems to be the first psalm we've come across where that happened. And there are so many allusions to body parts, eyes and mind and lips, feet, legs, ears, right hand, hearts and mouth. Lisa Brown.
So I'm trying to pull all of these things together. One thing we also noticed that there's many body parts mentioned. Another thing we were looking at was sort of some of the differences between the Hebrew and the translation. Notably in verse 6, it says in the English, it says, I call on you, you will answer me. And it sounds like a command, but it misses that key, right? Because I call on you because you will answer me. So we were wondering why they decided on this particular translation. And another translation was at the bottom of 12. It seems that a theme of this is also hiddenness. That verb, I think samach kafresh, you know, my Hebrew is not great, but you know, that the theme of sort of hiddenness. And the king of beasts is lying in wait hidden. Is the king of beasts is dwelling in hiddenness, which is a little different than saying a king of beasts is lying in wait. Those seem to be qualitatively different statements to us.
Lisa,
and there's more, but I'll stop here.
Great, thank you. Can you put those in chat so that I can share them with the rabbi as one of the observations? Shep, you have your hand up.
Yeah, well, also we noticed the body parts. I also noticed the right arm thing again. But we were talking about the term apple of your eye, but the Hebrew didn't say apple of your eye; it said bat ayin, daughter of your eye, or something. I mean, there's no apple in it, so wonder about that.
Okay, that's a good.
And
Got the
yeah, and what's it? Oh, and also we were questioning about the thing probing you at night. That sounded like God reads your dreams or something. I don't know what that means.
Okay, very interesting. If someone could put those into chat so we have them. Sarah Siegel.
Yeah, it was nice to learn with Marilyn Greenberg and Ellen Poster. And Ellen came up with, or she noticed that mishpati was, the literal translation is my judgment, you will judge me. But it said in the JPS or this translation, it said, you'll vindicate me. And then later on, we learned that this person is blameless, according to this person. So maybe that's why vindicate, but it was striking to us. And like Shep just said, and there was a nuance to what a difference. Oh, the only extra thing we said about daughter of your eye was perhaps there was some nod to inclusion around. Later on, it says keep my son's bellies full.
Okay.
But it doesn't say keep my daughter's bellies full.
Thank you. If you could put those wonderful observations in chat, that would be terrific. Michelle Zalkin.
Hi, in our group, we spent more time chatting and getting to know each other, which was lovely. So that was nice. We did not read the Hebrew. We were also struck by the many body parts and the probing my mind at night. Verse 5, a couple of us, we have at our age medical conditions that have involved our legs and our feet. And so we could identify with that. And the idea of God being able to maybe hear us without having to turn God's ear to, could hear us anyway. And then the shadow of your wings. And then we didn't get much further because we chatted a lot at the beginning. Thank you.
This is a community building exercise, Tori. I'm going to take Marianne and Donna, and then we're going to go to the sing out. But please continue to put your observations in chat so I can share them with the rabbi. Marianne.
I worked with Ken Carpel and Sarah Sloan, and we picked up in the very first line, the prayer of David. Very direct. We kind of thought that there was energy to the sound, but it was a kind of a peaceful, dreamy, before sleep type of psalm. Kind of, the writer is defending himself. He's declaring that he's a good person, but then he's kind of saying, well, I can't badmouth other people. He's asking God to, God's treasured ones to fill their bellies, to give their sons something. And then in the last verse, he's kind of just feels peaceful that he's filled with the vision of God. So it's kind of, there's energy, there's emotion, but it's not the kind of fire and brimstone energy that we've had before in other songs.
Yeah, we noticed the night and then the waking up references too.
Yeah.
And the last word goes to Donna Gray.
So I was with Mickey and Ruth Clave, and Ruth had the observation that in the Hebrew, it talks about tzedek, which is justice, but in the translation, it said justified, which is a whole other thing. So we'd like that if the rabbi could address that.
All right. So if you put that in chat too, and Cantor Nime, if you would like to sing us out. And before Cantor sings us out, I will just say, since this is Thursday, an early Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And I hope to see you at services tomorrow night and possibly Saturday morning. And if anyone who wants information on the morning minyan tomorrow for Rosh Chodesh and Hallel, just email me. Over to you, Cantor.
Sure. And so I hope that you all, I also, when I read the psalm in preparation for bringing music today also was struck by the body parts, and particularly that phrase "hat oznecha," turning your ear, which you'll hear is in this piyut, this Motza'ei Menucha, this 11th century poem. I always have wondered whenever I come across these liturgical poems, what psalms did they know when they were writing these poems? Where did they pull their phrases from? And so also, I'm happy to post on Facebook. I found there is a link, a YouTube recording of Naftali Hershtik singing this with a very young Netanel Hershtik, his son, who eventually became his successor as the Chazan at the Great Synagogue. So I will happily
Please do.
post that later. Okay, so, and I'll just do the first part because I know we're close to time here. במוצאי מנוחה קידמנו תחילה הט אוזנך ממרום יושב תהילה הט אוזנך ממרום הט אוזנך ממרום הט אוזנך ממרום יושב תהילה יושב תהילה לשמוע אל הרינה ואל התפילה לשמוע אל הרינה ואל התפילה.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, of course, to Tasha for executing this so nicely. And I will see you all on Tuesday unless I see you sooner. Bye-bye.
No, I guess
Hi,
not.
everybody.
All right. Hi. I wonder if we have time to talk. They didn't say. I guess people are leaving. Well,
I
have a
can
good
give
day,
you 5
everyone.
minutes.
5 minutes. Anybody here? Many are here. Looks like everybody left.
Oh,
Wait a
Linda
moment.
and Sue
Oh.
are here. Judy Winters.
Yeah, I see now. They're all
Linda's
muted.
leaving. Linda got locked out and came back in, but I'm leaving now.
Oh, okay. Have a good day, Linda.
Thank
See
you.
you
You will
tomorrow.
too. Do the same.
Okay. Be well. Okay. Bye. Okay.
I read the chats now because I find it hard to read the chats at the same time that you're talking or the class is going on.
Yes, me too.
I
It's
have the
very
same
hard.
thing. I can't listen and read the chat. I could only do one or the other.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I find.
And the chats are not kept up, right? So we have to, I try to get it in when I can.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, have a good day, everyone. Okay. Let's see. Judy Winters. Hi.
Hi.
At any rate.
Okay. Hi.
Where were you calling from, Judy?
I'm in New York City.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. That was ringing. I've got to get it. It's my,
Okay. Right. Okay. Nobody else is talking. Nobody else is talking. Now there are only one other person. Okay, I don't want to hang up on her when she's getting the phone. So,
So after I eat, I could write to Diane.
yeah.
Judy, where are you?
I'm downtown Manhattan in Soho, you know,
Oh,
just above Grand Street, between Grand and Broome. Yeah. So there.
I'm
Yeah.
on the other side.
Upper East Side. Yeah. You're just like me. Judy's together. I'm wearing my robe. A lot of times I don't feel like
Yeah.
getting dressed. Barely
Oh,
have
in the
breakfast.
morning, you know, sometimes I don't sleep at night, so I wake up right before the class.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I sleep, but I go to sleep late, so I always tend to oversleep and drink my coffee or try to eat something before class. But today was bad. So this is what's happening. At any rate, looks like everybody is leaving. So I didn't want to leave when you were getting the phone call. But yeah, it's interesting class. Have you been on the class since the beginning? Or you just joined?
I've been coming intermittently. I've been sick a lot, so I come to the class and, you know, and then maybe a month will go by and I'm not able to, or I may have doctor appointments at the same time or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Other stuff happening. Yeah. I came late in the summer, at the end of the summer, and I've been trying to go every day. Sometimes it's hard. I know what you mean. And, yeah, if I was out of town one day and I couldn't make it Monday. So this is, you know, but it's good. It's good to start your day off. I try to listen to the 8:30 to Rabbi Moskowitz, and sometimes I just fall asleep because I'm watching in bed with my iPhone, and then I fall asleep. And it's like, oh boy, I have to listen again. You know, it's hard. Monday mornings are not my favorite time.
Yeah,
But
me
that's
too.
the thing.
I prefer 11 o'clock. But
Right. Yeah, 11 is ideal.
yeah,
What can you do?
a Hebrew class, the bet class, and that's at 9 o'clock, and that's really difficult for me. But that's the kind of class where you have to come every day, or well, it's from Monday, Wednesday, but you have to come each time, or you just lose it. You know, it's like it builds on.
That's right. I'm having a hard time with class, and then I accidentally didn't register in time, so I'm not doing it this term. So we'll see what happens if I can keep up with Hebrew on my own. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I have bad memory with the vowels and the sounds, you know, it's like, yeah, it's complicated, very complicated. So I think the boat left and I'm behind, so we'll see how it goes. I bought the book too, and then here it is. I didn't do it. So I think I meant not to do it, take a break for a while. See on my own how I do, you know.
Although
What can you do?
Can you listen to the recording?
Yeah, I can listen to the recordings. I guess I should do that again. Start from the beginning and listen. That would help me. Yeah, that would be good. Let's see. Thank you. So have a good day.
Okay, everybody.
I don't know if there's anybody else on. Okay. Take care.
Okay. Take care. Bye now.
Bye. 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 You want to leave? Leave.